Well, that was fun. So it took me 39 years, but I got a hair tie stuck in my hair and I had to cut it out. So I was going to start your reading way sooner. Hi, Capricorn. Happy Samhain, upcoming Samhain. And in the spirit of Samhain, I was initially doing this reading for myself only. But last year I decided that I would do it for my collective for all 12 signs. This is your 2024-2025 Wheel of the Year reading. We're going to go through every single month of the year. We're going to start with an oracle message from, well, no, we're going to start with your songs first, but then we'll do an oracle message. And that's from the Divine Circus Oracle. We're going to do magnetic poetry. We're going to use the Santa Muerte Tarot for your main cards of your spread, as well as the heart of the matter will be Major Arcana Deftones Tarot cards set. You'll get a card from that. And then we'll clarify using the Deviant Moon Tarot. Check the description box for everything you need to know. There will be timestamps, so you don't have to hear me rambling about parts that you don't want to see, which I tend to do. It's just a thing. I've grown to accept the things about myself. I do want to talk about the songs that we had today. And I do apologize. I am going to be making timestamps here. But it's very interesting. The songs that we had were Underline the Black by Metric. Anyone who knows what Love Is by Irma Tom, which is a really old song. Release by Pearl Jam, His Rope by Tom York, Bad Decisions by The Strokes, and Dead End Love by Gob. And interestingly enough, a couple of things I do have to mention there about the songs, because I hit shuffle, as most of you have been here before might know. I have like 4,300, almost 4,400 songs in my library on Spotify, and before I do a reading I always hit shuffle and I do a little thinking, before I get started. And you probably heard a lot about this as a Capricorn individual, and by the way, do check your sun, moon, and rising sign for additional messages, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't your sun sign. But Capricorn is making its final days. Right now, we have less than a month, just under a month before Capricorn actually sees the last of Pluto. Pluto has been in Capricorn for the last, since 2008. And I found it interesting that a few of these songs actually had outros to them, which was really interesting. But then also, in His Rope by Tom York, he talks about sex and death, which my Scorpio placement is in Pluto, and Scorpio rules sex and death, which I thought was really interesting. But of course, also Pluto rules the underworld. It rules the hidden. It rules the passing of people. And of course, if you're a Capricorn sun since 2008, you've probably seen the passing of significant others, close friends, parents. That kind of thing has been a prevalent thing for people with Capricorn major, prominently placing in their charts. You should probably watch a couple of podcasts, astrological podcasts rather, on Pluto and it moving out of Capricorn. Extremely important. And so go ahead and do that if you can. It's a good time. It's an exciting time because it's been so long. And so do watch that. Moving forward, we're going to do an oracle message here. And the oracle that I'm using, I never read from oracles, but because it is the Wheel of Your Year reading, I'm going to read from the Divine Circus Oracle Guidebook. I just thought it would do more justice rather than just doing an intuitive read for you. And I'm going to cut the deck for this one. Normally I just do flippers and jumpers, but we're going to do this. Of course, all of my decks have been pre-shuffled multiple times, but I will shuffle on camera also. So not a big deal. Like I said, there will be timestamps for all the stuff. I do channel also. But we'll get into that when we get into the thick of it with the reading itself here. Do sit back and relax. It's going to be an hour. Most of them have been an hour and a half long read. But Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is your oracle message? Oh my God, I'm having a hard time. Death shall not take him. Well, that's great. Death shall not take him. we'll just see how I can do this without it being intense glare. I might have to turn it down so you can see it. Death shall not take him. And I'll just read from the book for this. It's card number 3. I'm going to have to watch back for this because, you know, I really, that's my numerological, that's my life path number. So 3, death shall not take him. Sometimes, just when you think it's all over, the 11th hour comes. Pluto's in our 11th hour. You can particularly hear the opening chords of your swan song, and when you have finally given up, suddenly, somehow, right before your eyes, everything changes, just like that. You were free falling, and then suddenly you were soaring. Fate steps in, destinies are altered, and life demonstrates its creative, restorative power, even if all seemed lost. The oracle of death shall not take him is a sign. No matter how defeated you feel, no matter how many dead ends you've encountered, how many setbacks, how many failures, no matter how impossible success may seem, the universe is going to step in and write things in your favor. You will succeed. Even through apparently impossible odds, the heroic spirit within you is going to get its way. So if you really must, doubt just for one moment longer, then replace doubt with trust and participate in the divine defiance of life, refusing to be crushed. The universe wants to dazzle you with an unexpected triumph. Why not just relax and bear witness to its impressive display of life-giving power with reverence and delight? And so there is a healing trick that comes with these cards, and it says you can go ahead and you can pursue guidance of the card by saying the following aloud at least once, but you can repeat it several times if you prefer. If you want to sing it, sing it. If you want to yell it, yell it. If you want to whisper it, then whisper it, but at the very least say it aloud. Dear universe, dazzle me with your life-affirming brilliance. Bring the best, boldest, and most beautiful things to life in me and my world. I am ready to be rocked by your loving power. Oh, that's a little cliche, but I'll go with it. Then imagine there is a happy and excited woo-hoo sound deep in your toes. There it is, hiding in your toes, just waiting to be given permission to be unleashed. You're going to be free to free that sound from within yourself, letting it start in your toes, rising all the way up your body until it flies out of your mouth upwards and outwards, releasing playfully to the universe. Start with the lowest of sounds of triumph that you can muster. Let the sound get higher and louder. Just let the siren rise up within you, all the way up from your toes towards your mouth, where it is going to fly free out into the universe. Finish with a wild howling sound. You might want to throw your arms out towards the sky and your head back and release that final sound. The universe has received your permission to be dazzled. It is already healing, restoring, repairing, and redesigning whatever needs to be resuscitated in you and your life. Undoubtedly with some spectacular special effects and creative flair, you have completed your healing trick. There is also an affirmation, and this is, stone is warmed by the blood of life. The universe dazzles me with its life-giving blessings, and all I need, love, want, and desire comes to my life in me and my world. All right, that's what I've got for you on that one there. That was a lot. That's another reason why I don't usually read from guidebooks. Let's go ahead and let's do your magnetic poetry. I'm doing this in list format. I'm not doing this in any other manner, because if I do it any other way, it's just not going to feel right. I don't want to feel like I'm leading you down a path of expectation. This is a lot of magnetic poetry here. But I want to make sure that basically I don't want you to feel like I'm showing you sentences. I want you to take the keywords and I want you to do what you will with them, right? And okay, all right. Oh, God. And I do also want to excuse my nails because I'm working 2 jobs, and one of my jobs I'm dealing with, it's a service job. So I'm I've got hangnails because I'm not going to the salon because I don't have any time. But yeah, so there you go. All right. There are your words. We'll make sure you got them there. There. Take a look-see. And now we will begin our shuffle. Now, I did mention prior that I am clairsentient, claircognizant, clairaudient, and so when I hear ringing in my ears on the left, it's messages for my spirit guides. When I hear it on the right, it's messages from people I know that have passed on. Let's go ahead and let's get started for you. Interestingly enough, when I was listening to the songs, there was a mosquito in the house, which is really weird because it's freezing outside. There should be no mosquitoes anywhere. Okay, so that was interesting. I found that interesting. Somebody feels like they're having life force sapped out of them, or they feel really drained at this time. They could also feel like they're having things siphoned off from them, or feel guilty as if they're siphoning things off from somebody else. The song Mosquito, that was the immediate thought that came to me, was the song Mosquito by Queens of the Stone Age, but that's just because, mosquito, you know, that was something that did come to me. But, you know, that could just be me misappropriating words, right? Yeah. Again, these have already been pre-shuffled, but for the sake of the viewer, I will make sure that you get your due as far as the shuffle goes. These are not quite as flexible as I would like, so I'm shuffling like, I can't bridge them yet. And, you know, my hands are sore. But nonetheless, yeah. We're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our cards during the shuffle here for each month, starting with November of 2024, moving all the way through to October of 2025. I only take flippers and jumpers. That makes it super random, and maximum of 3 if they fall. Okay? And that, I guess that's why the readings are getting a little bit longer. The lengthier reads happen because I am taking a little bit more instead of just one. Last year, I think I cut the deck and kind of just took the cards off the top. I'm not doing that this time. I want it to be super random. Twist for fairness for you. And if anybody ever wonders, I do that because some people are like, well, oh, that card was definitely going to come out as a reversal, you know. All right. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is your November 2024? November for Capricorn. November for Capricorn. I was lost, unaware. There was a road sign leading nowhere. Somebody felt like they were in a dead-end job, or they're looking back at their year, or something where they felt like they were led astray or being led on in some regard. Like everything was much ado about nothing. Okay, do we have the Three of Cups? November is a time of celebration for you, potentially. You could be looking at things as if you're getting together for celebrations such as bridal parties, baby showers, bridal showers, bachelorette party, bachelor party, that type of thing, celebrating. It's also about the 3 sisters, 3 women getting together, gossiping, but usually I see the gossip and that kind of thing when it's in the reverse. In the upright, I think this is 3 people getting together and celebrating something. There's jubilation and triumph here over something. So November has that for you. You might just be really stoked and feel like letting off steam and celebrating because you feel the alleviation of a lot of stress and pressure from Pluto no longer being in your sign, especially, you know, since it's kind of like an easing off the gas there after a long time of, you know, experiencing loss and grief and just, you know, a lot of strife. Who knows? We'll get to it. We'll clarify. December for you. I'll stop talking about them because I'm going to talk about them anyways when we go through. December, the world in the reverse. January 2025. Okay, we have a flipper. The Nine of Swords in the upright. February 2025 for Capricorn. February 2025. We have two. The Nine of Wands, or sorry, no, apologies, the Six of Wands in the upright with the Five of Swords in the reverse. March. March. It's like a victory march. I just heard that. It's like a victory march. Okay. March, we have King of Swords in the reverse with the Chariot. April. I was lost, unaware. Somebody felt like they were sitting in a place of blindness or rooting around in the dark without a flashlight. Blind, unaware. Didn't know. Coming out of blindness. Interesting, isn't that? April. Two swords in the reverse. May. Making bad decisions. Yeah. Oh, one stuck on the table. Page of Cups, is that? Yeah, Page of Cups in the upright. For April, for May, rather. June 2025, Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Okay. The Hermit in the upright. July. Somebody's rather poetic. Somebody's rhyming. July, so fly. They're being funny about it. Somebody's rhyming. Eight of Swords in the upright. August for you. High Priestess in the reverse. September 2025, Capricorn. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. High, so high. Cypress Hill. Yeah, somebody's got a sense of humor. July, so fly. High, so high. I want to get, yeah, They're laughing. Somebody's laughing. There's laughing about it. In October, we have Knight of Swords in the upright. I'm getting off this as silver tongue energy. If you don't hear me say that when I do the read here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do your heart of your matter. But first of all, the bottom of the deck for you, we have the Hierophant in the reverse. A feeling of let me just timestamp. What we have here is we have a feeling of knocking down preconceived notions or highly structured philosophies and theories and belief systems, looking at organizations and the toppling of organizations, or long held, highly established ideas or ideals. Sometimes people can think this is a divorce card. I don't necessarily think so, especially considering its overall energy. This could be bad advice. This could be seeing a therapist that isn't necessarily listening. This can also be cult energy, but because we don't have any surrounding cards, I can't necessarily say that. again, I just kind of look at it as the structures that we topple or that we see toppling around us, such as religious belief systems, philosophies, that kind of thing. Let's look at your heart of your matter with the Deftones Tarot here. This is just archetype energy. There are no minor arcana cards here, and this will kind of be your theme for your year, from November of 2024 through 2025 for you, and then we'll go through each month, and we will clarify using the Deviant Moon deck. Okay. I'll take 3 cards for each of the months here, and it should read as a story, but again, flippers and jumpers, I might end up with more. All right. So Capricorn's year, what is the theme of their year as far as our major arcana goes? Theme of Capricorn's year. Burn the French toast again. What's that song? Burned the French toast again. Burn the French toast again. What is that? Uh-oh, I burned the French toast again. I burned the French toast again. What is that song? I don't know what that is, but it just popped in. And I burned the French toast again. Burn the French toast again. I'll have to look it up. If you happen to find it, put it in the comments. I burned the French toast again. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's that? Holy shit. Okay, sorry. Burn the French toast again. So, what is that? Burn the French toast again. Come on, come on, come on. I might have to pull one if it doesn't jump here. Burn the French toast again. We got 2. We got a flipper and we got a jumper. Okie dokie. The Devil in the reverse and Judgment in the reverse. Indecision with your card. This is you. You might also have Aries, or you might have Aries in your chart. This is Aries and Sagittarian energy with Capricorn energy. So you either have Aries in your chart, or you are a Sagittarius Capricorn cusp individual, somebody born near December 21st. The Devil in the reverse is living in excess energy, or examining where you're living in excess energy. Paired with the Judgment card, you're avoiding making the decision about cutting off bad habits, bad decisions, if you will. This is the card about not having the appropriate respect for the tangible things, the things that are made by man, that we indulge in to the point of excess if we don't hold the appropriate level of respect for them in our waking world. It's okay to indulge, but when you indulge to the point of excess, it's then an addiction. So that means good wine, good food, good sex. Those can all be bad things in large amounts, right? Same with gambling, same with shopping, same with lots of different things, right? It's when it becomes a problem that it's a problem, right? When we have the Judgment card with it, that's indecisiveness, but it's also avoiding making a decision. You see the trumpeter's call there? That's also important. You might hear a horn. You might hear the sounding of a horn when you should be making a decision. You might be a horn player. You could also be somebody who you're being called to action here, but you're avoiding the call. You're avoiding making a call when it comes to something that you do, that you indulge into excess. I think this year is about evaluating those things and coming to terms with the fact that you need to make a decision of some sort when it comes to it's about really being honest with yourself, really. If we had this in the upright, and never mind the devil there, but if we had the Judgment card in the upright, that would be where indicative of the fact that it's time to pay the piper, that it's time for atonement, that it's time to make those decisions, and that you are making those decisions, that there's action there, and that you're looking at evaluating and choosing a path. Whereas here, that's the opposite of it, and it's a call to action. It's inviting you to do so, to take a deeper look at where what are your demons? What are the vices that you still avoid addressing? And they don't necessarily have to be, I mean, even though we look at it from the tangible perspective, the material perspective, the things on the earth, sometimes they're energetic, sometimes they're spiritual, because energy, the things we waste our time on, the things that we spend too much energy on, expend too much energy on, those are also a part of the devil energy. So they're a part of the pentacle energy, because our time is a currency we cannot get a refund on, and our energy is a currency we cannot get a refund on. So you have to think about it from that perspective too, right? So that's where we're at with those guys right there. Let's go ahead and let's do your read and clarify each month. We're using the Deviant Moon Tarot for it. It's a little deck. I like it because I can shuffle it well and it doesn't hurt my hands, so that's good. First off here we have November 2024 with the Three of Cups. I already spoke about that when I drew the card. I do get a celebratory energy with that card. You're gathering with friends. It might be a group of 3 individuals, or it might be just joyous celebration in amongst friends about something that's really exciting for you. But it's a time where you get to actually blow off some steam. That was the thing that I really got from it, was being able to let your hair down, to blow off some steam in some regard. There could be people who are talking about you, and I don't want to, instill a giant amount of paranoia in you, because it's not in the reverse. If it was in the reverse, 100%, I would say that. But I don't believe that's the case. I think it's more about celebrating, especially considering that what we have here is we have them raising their glasses. And I just heard, raise your glass. Yeah. So that's that Pink song or whatever. And I don't even listen to Pink, to be honest with you. I don't want to shuffle now. And that could be the thing that you indulge into excess is drink, right? But, okay. Here we go. Let's do it to it. 3 Cups. Tell us more about the celebratory energy of November for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. November's energy of that 3 Cups. Tell us what we need to know. Tell me what I want to hear. Somebody wants to, and that's another thing that could be a devil too, is the avoidance of truth. Tell me what I want to hear. I don't want, all of this, and this. Just tell me what I want to hear. Don't avoid the truth. You have the World. You're celebrating an ending of some sort. There's some, and it could also be, because the World isn't just about endings. Remember, this is the snake that eats its tail. So it's things coming full circle, a feeling of wholeness. Another song that, because I wanted to limit the amount of songs that we were going to talk about in the beginning here, or that you were going to have to look up, another song that came up was Control by Poe. Another song that had an outro to it, which was interesting. But it talks about how she was a half and she became a whole. So look at that. The World. Becoming whole. All right? And I think that's interesting that we have that card here. I think there's too much glare and I might need to just, I'm just going to do this. Yeah, that's better. So becoming whole. Coming full circle. Celebrating the completion of something ending, a cycle ending so that something new can happen. And this is also the fixed energy of Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Pisces. Not Pisces, Scorpio. So think about it like this. You're finally ending something. Something's finally ending. Interestingly enough, November 19th is the day, the final countdown. Yeah, it's the time that you actually see Pluto move into Aquarius during the very end of Scorpio season. So that's celebration in and of itself, right? But there's something that's ending here. Tell us more. What else? Tell me more. Dirty Little Freaks. Is that the name of that song? I don't know. Anyway. And just hearing that right now. You and your friends are probably the people that kind of get talked about like that. I don't know. I don't generally have a lot of friends. I'm kind of like that lone wolf, but the Moon. Moon in the reverse. This is coming out of confusion about something too. Deception lifting, the night lifting. It's time to see the light of day. It's almost like the darkness is exiting for some reason, and that could be a part of this culmination. Culmination. Yeah, I'm hearing that too. That's funny. Yeah, somebody definitely has a sense of humor that's here with us right now. Uh, they're making reference to American Pie and that scene where it's like culmination. Yeah. But it's like everything is finally lifting. The night is gone. You could also have had some dreams about something that is ending and something new that's beginning. So it could be something during November that you're realizing is a dream that you've had over and over again of something. You're going to see it. Something that you've seen in a dream. It's like that feeling of deja vu. You're going to have deja vu. How's more Cancer energy on that? Sorry. We have 3. Wow. They really are pushing me to, follow my own rules here. This is something you waited on with the 2 of Wands, and it's got to do with a lack of independence. You've waited on an end to a lack of independence. And it's because of your adventurousness and your willingness to take a risk that it's come up. With that 2 of Wands, the waiting, you've waited on an end with that World card to your lack of self-reliance. You can now stand on your own 2 feet, and that's the end that we're talking about here. And it's because of your ability to take risks and be adventurous, your fearlessness in that regard, that's coming about for you. Aries energy here again. But you've been waiting for this, and it's finally happening for you, which is fantastic. That's great. Okay, let's look at December for you. Interesting that we had the World card in the upright, because December's main card is the World in reverse. And the World in reverse is reconciliation. It can be something that isn't ending. I often will call this the merry-go-round of crazy. Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts is an expression I often use in terms of this, because it's like something that you expected that was going to end, or that you were hoping was going to end, or that had ended hasn't ended. It's coming back around once more. Again, the fixed energy of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio on that. But I think it's more that something isn't transforming. Something isn't being reborn in a new form. It's almost like a reversal in a way, back over something. And it could just be because December is, it just reeks of taking stock of things in our lives, because it's the end of the year. It's also because it is our season as sun sign Capricorns. If you're a sun sign Capricorn, it's the time that we would all take stock of things anyway, because it's the end of our personal year, being that birthdays all fall for us during in between December 21st all the way to January 19th. So, or January 20th actually. So you're going to find that this is a time where you're kind of mulling over everything that's kind of happened so that you can move forward. I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing. Sometimes you don't need to go back over everything. You don't need to reverse to drive forward always. It's like, how many times do you have to back over the guy you ran over before you know that he's dead? That's a really macabre way to put it. Sorry. But it's true. How many times do you have to reverse over something before you know that it's done? Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts, right? Sometimes the words just leave your mouth and you're like, oh, that was a pretty hardcore one, Ash. All right. So in terms of this thing that's, it's got to do with a meeting of the 2. You're replaying it in your head over and over again, and it needs to be done with and over. You need to move forward instead of going back over and over and over. It's a meeting of the 2. It is a meeting of the 2 that happened, and it's more or less you replaying a conversation. I'm getting that over here. It's the replaying of a conversation that happened during a time where you and another individual Typically, it's somebody that you have an emotional connection with, either romantically, family member, a friend, that kind of thing. But it's more intimate than not because you have a connection. But it's somebody that you met with, you actually sat with, you exchanged drinks, you had a meal, that kind of thing. You're going over this in your mind, either the conversation or the event itself. Tell us more. December. And it's the thought process I'm getting from that. You're thinking about what happened during that meeting of the two. Page of Wands. There seemed to have been some passionate communication where somebody felt like they were skating on thin ice, walking on stilts on thin ice. And it might have been too passionate. It might have been because the Page of Wands is passionate communication. It could have also been a discussion about fire sign children, although I don't necessarily get that here. I think it's more that the conversation kind of took a heated turn. The messages, the communication that was being brought forth, because pages are about communication. It was too lusty or flirtatious. It was just, I get the word, yeah, it was hot. It was hot, or it made you heated, but not heated in an angry way. It just kind of, it seemed like too much too fast. And from that desirous place, right? Tell us more. Oh, I have a flipper in here and I didn't even notice. I'm sorry. Because one person in this meeting was healing something. Something very painful. Are there any other flippers in here? Sorry. Somebody was healing something very painful, and so it felt inappropriate. Didn't feel like the right time, or it didn't feel like the appropriate conversation. Because something was up in the air and it hadn't ended. I don't know that that's the case though, because I think the overall theme is that you're kind of going over this conversation about a meeting of the two, during a meeting of the two. All right. January. January we have the Nine of Swords. You're in your head about something. In fact, this isn't the Eight of Swords, like it looks like the Eight of Swords. This is anxiety, worry, sleepless nights, nightmares, the sick bed, being up at night, like ruminating about something that's actually making you sick because you're thinking about it to that extent. It's very cerebral. Think about it like that. When I see this, I think about worry to the point of cerebral, like it's angst, you know? Making yourself sick with worry or grief during January over something. Let's see what that's about. Okay, we have two. We have the King of Swords in the reverse with the Empress in the reverse. We have Taurus Libra energy in the reverse. And, Aquarius energy in the reverse. This is somebody who is more connected with the intuitive and the emotional as opposed to their intellect. So somebody who was not being logical in a situation. So you could be worried that you were not following your logic. And that you were living in an emotional, intuitive space during January here. January 2025. You are also feeling disconnected from nature, not feeling grounded, not feeling inspired or creative. The Empress is highly creative, highly connected to the earth, very fertile, not just physically, but also with ideas. She has the ability to connect with Mother Nature and therefore is a life-giving force. Very musical, very down to earth. and loving. Ruled by Venus, she rules all things that, that surround beauty and that embody beauty. And at this time, you're feeling disconnected from that. I think you're a little worried that you're not able to exude that or impress that upon people, but you're also feeling disconnected from Earth and from your Earth energy. You might be feeling very watery. And not feeling grounded, but also feeling that you're not being strategic, logical, methodical, excuse me, like you would hope. You could be feeling scatterbrained also because you're not getting any sleep, but also because of your anxiety around something. But you could also be lacking the focus to create something in terms like a creative project. You're feeling a lack of focus. This could also be writer's block, because the King of Swords is there and he's a very intellectual character, and you're looking at an Empress in the reverse, which is you could be worried that you can't create things anymore, that you're not as creative as you used to be. But you're very emotional because you're operating out of the emotional space as opposed to the intellectual space. You could be concerned and anxious about the fact that you, in January, of course, that you're just not intellectual enough to create things anymore, or that you're not smart enough to express your beauty in the way that would be considered high achieving or acceptable, or to the level that an Empress would aspire towards for yourself or for others. King of Swords in the reverse, I do want to say this. The King of Swords in the reverse is also, because in the upright it's judges, magistrates, corrections officers, parole officers, lawyers, that kind of thing. In the reverse, it's a criminal, a thief. So you could also be trying to find a creative way to pull off a crime. Hopefully not. I would really hope not. You could be worried and concerned about somebody who has wronged you, that has done something as far as, stolen from you. And you could be trying to find a creative way to kind of, cope with that. Feeling an injustice has been suffered against you and trying to find a creative and inspired way to deal with it, but not feeling grounded in that. Let's see what else. Okay. Yeah, lack of balance and fairness in a situation with that Six of Pentacles. You're either the charity or the charitable, but there's a call to balance and equilibrium here. Trying to achieve balance in your sleep schedule might be important for you. Trying to find ways that you can balance the intuitive emotional with the intellectual. Trying to get back to nature, getting back to being found. Becker by Otto Lux, that song. Getting back to being found. It'll blow your mind. You need to ground and center during January so that you can balance far better. It's not about balancing your books. You think it's about balancing your books. You think that it's about money. You think that but it's not. It doesn't boil down to money like you think it does. I don't know why that comes into play here. Anyway, February for you. I like February for you. We have the Six of Wands in the upright with the Five of Swords in the reverse. The Six of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot is oftentimes a man on horse. In fact, all the time in Rider-Waite Tarot, it's a guy coming in on horseback with his victory banners being flown high after he's just won a battle. And so it's victory. It's triumph over adversity. It's also considered a performance card, somebody who's won something, achieved something. People are celebrating them, awarding them accolades, that kind of a thing. It's a very happy card. It's a card of winning out after a fight, after conflict. And And with that, we have the Five of Swords in the reverse. It's winning out in triumph, therefore, after feeling that you were deceiving yourself, coming out of self-deception. There's almost a self-realization here that happens during February that spurns this feeling on. And I think that's important to note. The feeling that you're no longer lying to yourself is begets this triumphant feeling. And there's something about performance that I find really fascinating, like in my Joie de Vivre tarot, the picture shows somebody tap dancing. And I always see that, no matter which deck I use, I always think about that card in that respect. Because it's also about performance. It's also about being up in front of others and finally taking your bow for something that you're successful at in front of other people, that you could do with a hand tied behind your back, I'm hearing. But it's about you no longer fooling yourself about that, because the Five of Swords is about lying to yourself, telling yourself one thing when in fact the opposite thing is true. Let's see here for February, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It will blow your mind. Just hearing the echo of that song. It's always going to blow your mind. Excuse me. It's always going to blow your mind. King of Wands in the reverse. King of Wands in the reverse. Kings are our fixed energy. Leo in the reverse. You might have a jealous Leo watching as this happens for you. They might be upset that you're getting the attention of the Six of Wands, because Leos generally like to have the spotlight. This can also be leadership energy, where a leader isn't so happy that you're getting the accolades. You could be getting credit for something and they might not necessarily be happy about that. This is also a leader who lacks the confidence in their leadership abilities, or doesn't have leadership abilities, so they rule by force. They are not flexible, because that's fixed energy. Remember, they are not a flexible leader. They're dominant to the point of being domineering, and so this is somebody, I think, who is not pleased by the fact that you're getting accolades for something. They would prefer the spotlight be on them. Tell me more. And that's not a knock against Leos at all. It's just, you understand the nature of that for a second. If all of a sudden, as a fixed energy, somebody who is extremely comfortable with the spotlight and the focus always being on them, is that somebody who's going to adapt well to the focus no longer being on them, to somebody else finally, and we all have to be mature individuals, but some people lack that emotional maturity, right? We're human beings, and jealousy does exist, and especially in the realm of attention. Why is this person all of a sudden getting the attention when I have always gotten the attention, is kind of the phrasing that kind of comes up there with that. Tell me more. It's either going to be expressed to you, or it's going to be a feeling, like somebody, like an onlooker who's seeing this happening, and they're not pleased about it. Don't let that dull your shine, but also, I don't think that you're concerned about it. Knight of Wands in the reverse. This is Sagittarian energy. This is actually, so if we look at it like this, you have somebody here who's kind of looking on and jealous and upset about it, and you have somebody else here. This is action that is being carried towards this. And if we think about it, this is somebody who isn't necessarily taking the passionate action to defend against this. I feel like that's you ignoring. You're not coming in with passionate action to combat somebody's expression, like they're the naysayer, right? That King of Wands is the naysayer, coming in and being like, well, that's bullshit. I don't understand what's so great about what that person did. Trying to, for lack of a better term, crap all over your accomplishments. You're not going to Knight of Wands that. You're going to let it be. You're not riding in with passionate action, guns a-blazing, heated, fiery, trying to knock that down or knock it over. You're just going to let them be a dick about it and let everybody see. They want the attention. Let them have the attention, especially when they're acting like that, you know? Because then everybody can see exactly what they're about. Silence is golden. Thank you. Silence is golden. Anything else on this? Tell us more about February. I don't like that. And the reason I don't like it is because I don't want people to be sitting there going, oh yeah, this is going to happen. Then I got to watch out for every person that I involve myself with. Please don't. You know, don't concern yourself with what others think and feel. It's not your business what other people think and feel, even about you. Let's go. Come on. You could even be saying that. Come on, let's go. Like you're just not even interested. You don't care about this person who's off kicking off somewhere in a corner because they're pissed off about something great happening for you. You're more interested in just getting your coat on and 86 in the joint. You know what I mean? This has to do with for a firm foundation that you've laid. Potentially, as far as a home situation goes, this is the four posts of a marriage bed, the four walls of a home. You could be getting a new place, or you could be, you see the hand fasting energy there. It could also be that during February there's celebration of a relationship that's got firm cemented foundations. A lot of people consider this a marriage card, but unless I had the Hierophant come down with it, I wasn't going to say that. I don't want to clarify further, you know, because I'm just doing 3 cards for each thing. I'm very tempted to. But it's about a connection. Somebody isn't necessarily, it's not that they want to be with the person that you're they don't want to be with the person you're connected with. I think they're more jealous that you have that nature of connection. Some people are all right, who I don't remember who said it, but there's a reader out there who said some people are happy for you as long as they're doing better. And I don't, again, like I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't concern, it's not my business what other people think, even about me. But I do think that it's important and key to know that that exists and that a lot of people are always going to be happy for you as long as they're doing better. And that when you are doing awesome and they're not doing as great, or, you know, they don't have the upper hand on you, sometimes people can be bitter, people can be jealous, people can be petty. You don't have to react. You have the choice, right? I did clarify. We ended up with an ending, Scorpio energy. In February, there's an ending here. It could be the ending of living somewhere. It could be, I mean, there is a connection here that's very firm, and there's an ending so that something new can begin. You're crushing I don't know who this is, but there's somebody here who's a really funny person. They're laughing because something's being crushed under this big guy's horse foot, big giant horse foot crushing the skull of whoever this is. It's like you're putting an end to it. You're putting a kibosh on it. It's not the connection that you're putting the kibosh on. You're putting an end to a situation so that you can move into a nicer home or a better surrounding for yourself, or you're not allowing somebody to piss on your parade. You're ending it so that you can move forward and start something new for yourself. Transform the energy into something new. Crushing something under your big horse hoof. I don't know. That's what it feels like to me. Ending so that new things can begin during February there. In March, you have the King of Swords in the reverse, which you had in your clarifiers for January, as well as the Chariot. This is intellect, being void of intellect and more the intuitive and emotional side attached to the Chariot. Cancerian energy with Aquarian energy. The Chariot is my change of address card. It's also about travel. But it's movement forward. You're moving forward from a situation where there was thievery, like theft or lies, something criminal. Could also be where you're moving forward from something that you were overtly emotional about. This is Aquarian energy. I think I already said that. Or even just a deep sense of injustice about something. But I think also you could be changing address during March and moving into a place that seems more just and secure for you. Secure, away from the criminal element, or just as free and clear of something that felt like it was not correct, right? That kind of a thing. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the cards have to say about it. Tell me more about this. Well, tell me more first about that King of Swords in the reverse. Let's do that. I want to hear about the King of Swords in the reverse. I got a flipper and I got a jumper. Queen of Wands in the reverse is a jealous human being. This is Aries energy, but it is, again, a domineering leadership energy that rules by force and fear, as opposed to with, a confidence, right? Third party energy, potentially. I don't necessarily subscribe to the idea that Queen of Wands is a third party energy, even if it's in the reverse. I think it's more of somebody who's emotional to the point of irrationality, volatile, has a really bad temper. So that's our King of Swords, is somebody with a bad temper. They're a coward. Somebody who's been referred to as a coward. You're moving forward from that in March, moving away from that coward energy. Because this is normally, classically, we have this as somebody who's coming out from behind those wands. They were protecting themselves and defending themselves against something. You feel that you no longer feel the need to defend yourself. Okay? Tell me about that Chariot in March. Yeah, that person's watching and observing what's going on. They're seeing you move. Sorry. They're seeing you move. They're watching you move away. They're upset about it. They're a coward. They watch from afar. They're angry because they won't be able to see where you live anymore. See the eye? See the eye? They stay far away, but they watch. They wanted to see you left out in the cold. They didn't think you would ever realize that that's a choice rather than a reality. It's a figment of your imagination. You're bringing yourself out of the cold. It's a need to realize that you don't need to be out in the cold. That you can come into the church anytime you so choose. You're moving on and moving forward from that feeling. You could be moving near a church, actually, by a church in March. Could be moving to save money also, because the Five of Pentacles is also a feeling of destitute. So you could be moving in order to save money. Here we have the Six of Cups in the reverse. You're not moving to a childhood home or something like that. Moving forward from disappointments, childhood wishes that didn't come true, nostalgic relationships. So if you're living somewhere right now that you live long enough that it's linked to your childhood or your deep, deep, deep past, you're moving away from that, moving forward from that. You're not moving to somewhere where you lived as a child. Normally the Six of Cups is about being attached to your childhood, nostalgic dreams, wishes, and goals of the past, relationships from childhood, that kind of a thing. Moving away from all of that. It's somewhere that you've either never lived or like as a kid, or you're putting away the childish things. You're moving on and moving forward, onward and upward, onward and upward. No longer left out in the cold. I think you're moving beside a church. it doesn't mean that you have to go to church. I'm just saying, like, you're moving beside a church. And you're moving, there's something about moving that actually helps you put to rest a feeling of injustice, away from a coward, a thief, somebody who had a very volatile temper, was jealous, could have been an adulterer. But you're putting away the childhood, the childish hopes, wishes, dreams, and goals of the past. When I was a child, I wished and hoped for childish things, right? And now that I am a man, woman, whatever you want to say, I do so no longer. Okay, moving forward from that, we have, where are we at here? That's March, April. Didn't I say something about no longer, there was something that I said during the shuffle about this. This is you taking the blindfold off, no longer having two swords and your arms crossed in front of you and a blindfold on, no longer being at an impasse. You're choosing a direction of some sort. You have decisiveness in your grasp. You are moving forward with a direction in mind during April. What is that about? Tell us more, Capricorn. Knight of Pentacles, very slow, methodical action towards material success. Something that you can build, hold, taste, see, feel, touch in the future. This is Taurus energy. It's something that you see within your grasp and something that you're choosing a direction on, but you know that it needs to be slow, that it needs to be deliberate. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for, deliberate. Tell me more about it. I saw the Lovers for April. Burnt the French toast again. Burnt the French toast again. So, what is that song? I'm hearing it now. Burnt the French toast again. So, I can't remember what it is. The Tower. Something shocking happening here that either is very revealing to you and forces you to take the blindfold off, or all of a sudden you see. Scorpio energy here. Shocking event. What is it? Doesn't necessarily have to be bad. We'll see. Nothing really is bad, even if it is a shocking event that seems like a tragedy. It's really for the greater good, really. I mean, because, you know, things that are revealed in time do end up actually in the end, oh, you know, I didn't want to, you know, really be stuck with this if that's what it was going to be, or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Something that forces you to take your blindfold off. All of a sudden there's like sudden awareness, insight. What is this about with that Tower card? What is that Tower card that forces you to take your blindfold off and choose a direction? Something's pushing you to take a direction. You don't have a choice. Somebody could be offering you an ultimatum. You have to choose to take a direction. You have to move forward. You can no longer sit there silently and turn a blind eye to something. Page of Cups in the reverse and Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody's not giving you an offer. There's a lack of apology for something, and then also a lack of a contract that you were expecting, a lack of a tangible offer on the material, energetic, or spiritual plane, as well as Page of Cups in the reverse, which is a small, thoughtful, considerate communication. Could be that you had applied for a new role, or you were looking for a tangible offer as far as a contract goes, applied for a new position, and you didn't get it, but it was more the communication that was lacking, or the lack of consideration. Could be also that somebody, you know, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Thank you, that's what I'm hearing here. The straw that broke the camel's back. And you might shock people with your decision to move forward in another direction. All of a sudden you see something for what it really is. That you're just a number, or that where'd the French toast again? What is that? Burnt the French toast again. I think it's got to do with that. Burnt the French toast again. It could be like you screwed up on one small thing, but it's like somebody's lack of gratitude. It's that small thing. It's like, that's it. I'm sick of this dump. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead with May. Page of Cups in the upright. You're getting that in May, though. It's almost like when you're like, F this, I'm out. You're choosing a direction. You got awareness. Now all of a sudden you are getting apologies, sweet little communications. You could also be carrying this outside of yourself. Small, pleasant communications. Let's see. May. Of what nature? Come on, tell us. They're emotional in nature. But to what end, I guess, is more what I'm trying to say here. Not the French toast again. King of Pentacles in the reverse. This is like a cold. This is your Taurus energy. Sorry, this was Virgo energy back here with the Knight of Pentacles in April. This is your Taurus energy, but it's stubborn. It's not necessarily as warm as you would like. This is in the upright. This would be somebody who is attempting to create or provide in order for the home space to be a warm and inviting and nurturing space, replenishing. In the reverse, somebody is apologizing for not being able to sustain things in the home space to keep them warm and nurturing. There's an apology or a sweet, small message about not providing sustainable warmth in the home space. Not being able to sustain their surroundings or create the nurturing environment. It's the stability, thank you, the stability. The inability to create stability. Why are you rhyming? Somebody who's rhyming a lot. Like it's everything rhymes. The inability to create stability. They apologize with teary eyes. What is this? They apologize with teary eyes. As I was actually thinking, because I don't know if that's a song, Teardrops in Heaven, but if you look there, I was seeing those drops from the gourd there. Teardrops. They apologize with teary eyes about the inability to create stability. Tell me more. During May. During May. How many is this? 1, 2. Temperance in the reverse with the Hangman in reverse. Pisces and Sagittarian energy. A lack of moderation, inability to heal. A lack of patience. Somebody's growing impatient or has grown impatient after waiting for some time, but also there's been perspective that's been gained. They looked at something from many angles and they're growing impatient, or they feel that they're coming out of healing. They're ready to do something after looking at something from all perspectives. There's been enough time. Somebody might feel like their time is running out on something, and that somebody else in this whole scenario here, this mess of May, that they're... Oh, I had it. Somebody feels like they're running out of time, and that somebody is growing impatient and has gained perspective. That another individual hasn't... Sorry, the ability... Oh my goodness. The ability to create or sustain stability. The warmth at the hearth. It's really bugging me. This whole rhyming thing's really pissing me off. The warmth at the hearth. They might be too old and the coal has grown cold. I don't know. That's weird as fuck. They can't travel. Temperance. Temperance is about higher learning, long distance travel because it's Sagittarius energy. They feel like they're running out of time. For June, sorry, that sneezing just totally screwed me up. The Hermit, Virgo energy again. So we have Virgo energy on either side of May. So in June you have it again. It's somebody who's going into the cave of self-discovery in order to learn a deep personal truth. They need that lantern to illuminate that personal truth. Illumination is knowledge, and knowledge therefore illumination. They beget each other. The Hermit, what is that truth? Who is learning the truth, and what is the truth? That personal truth, that deep personal truth during June. What is the realization during June? There's gossip afoot. Gossip. You have to stop celebrating. There's no need to celebrate. What are you celebrating for? You know? It's like when somebody looks at something, what are you laughing for? What's so funny? That's the type of feeling with this. Yeah, somebody's gossiping and laughing about someone's realization in a situation and going, what are you laughing about? What's so funny? Could be during a gathering. They see a bunch of people together and they actually confront them and say that specific statement. What are you laughing about? What's so funny? Or I don't get it. Why are we celebrating? Why is this so great? This isn't a good thing. It's almost like there are people out there, like I hate doing this to people in readings, but it's like there's a group of people who are celebrating something that shouldn't be celebrated. It's like somebody's taking joy in somebody's tragedy or somebody's downfall, or somebody's taking pleasure in somebody else's misery. Taking pleasure in somebody else's misery and laughing, literally laughing with other people about what's happened. And talking about it. Talking out their asses about it. What is this? Better not be you. I hope it's not you. Hopefully it's not you. I would, I expect it isn't. But let's see. I don't think it is. Somebody's exercising gratitude. They're grateful for what they have. And somebody else thinks that's funny. Like, why would you be grateful to have this, this, and this? Ha ha ha, look at that. Somebody's making fun of that. Somebody's making fun of the fact that somebody has lost all of these things and looking at them and laughing, even though this person's happy and grateful that they have 2 cups and is expressing that they're grateful for their 2 cups. You got a bunch of people sitting around laughing about it, that you lost your 3 cups, and then also laughing at the 2 cups that you still have. But you're grateful. Tell me more. One sec. God. Okay, got rid of... So, the card vomit, right? Okay, so we have the King of Cups that landed right here. I'm not taking all of these that fell on the floor. We'll just get these where they need to go. I could, but there's too many. King of Cups in the upright, Scorpio energy, somebody who is secure in their heart space, emotionally mature, and therefore is not swayed by the bullshit, blah, 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 and ha, ha, ha. They know when to give of their heart, and they know when to shut off the supply to people who are not worthy of that. And I think that's why there's that righteous indignation. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing for? There's nothing funny about that. Blah, 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 you know? Or why are we celebrating this? There's no reason to celebrate, you know? I think that's what's happening there. I'm hearing the conversation. I'm hearing the person being righteously indignant about that. In July, July's so fly. Hard to get high, so high. Yeah. July. We have the Eight of Swords. And this is feeling like you're trapped in a mental prison. Classically, Rider-Waite Tarot shows somebody with their hands bound, and they are jailed by swords, but their feet are free to walk out of there anytime they want. This is living in a victimhood mindset, engaging in negative self-talk, that kind of a thing. Let's see why. What is that about, Capricorn? Why during July is this a thing? Oh, because you're aware of something. Your blindfold is off and you're picking a direction. Oh, okay. Because of April? It's linked to April. It's linked to the awareness that you gained in April about something. Because you have that awareness, you're kind of talking down to yourself about something. That negative self-talk part sticks out to me the most. But it's also that feeling of being trapped. You feel like you're trapped in a situation. It's probably a work situation, because there's a lack of offer here and somebody's very inconsiderate in their communication to you when it comes to it. You feel disrespected. And your awareness about this, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's the small strike of lightning that brings the whole building down. And you're aware of it. You're aware. And once you're aware, you cannot unknow something that you now know. In July, you do have a little bit of a martyrdom type of a mindset, a victimhood mindset, negative self-talk, whatever you want to call it. But you also have a feeling of being stuck, stagnant, or trapped. Like you can't get out of something, or you can't change your circumstances, which is not true. You are the only person who can change your circumstances. The fact of the matter is you have to choose. And once you choose, you have to act on that decision. Once you do that, is what it is. However, you're also the one who's going to put obstacles in front of yourself and remain stuck if you so choose. Anything that you do to keep yourself in a position you don't want to be in is excuse making. So, I mean, there are 1,000,001 examples. I'm lactose intolerant. Here's a great example. I'm lactose intolerant, all right? And so if I feel like, oh, well, I'm lactose intolerant, but, I have to drink milk because, the store down the road just has normal milk and they don't have lactose-free milk. Well, are you going to just drink lactose-free milk? Or you have other choices. You could not drink milk. You could go to another store. Oh, well, I need the milk because, calcium and blah, 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 and I cook with it and da, da, da. Oh, well, I'm not going to go to another store because it's too far away, or I don't feel like it, or that's still your choice, man. And anytime that you put obstacles in front of yourself, you're making excuses for why you will not change your present circumstances. And I understand it's not as simple as that. It's not as cut and dry as that with a lot of other things. But it's really about making the appropriate choices for yourself and then deciding and then acting upon that stuff. Anything after that is either you making excuses for why you will not do X, Y, and Z or not. It's really as simple as that. I understand that the consequences of making some choices over others isn't simple. And it's not without complication. And which is just another way of saying it's not that simple. But I mean, okay, so here's another great example. Leaving an abusive partner that you've been with for years and years and years, and I can speak from experience because I was married to one for 16 years. You can either stay in that situation and believe that you are stuck, or you can make a conscious decision that you will no longer stay in that situation. It's going to be tough. You're going to be broke. You might even face physical danger, and you should never stay in an abusive relationship. I'm just going to public service announcement right now. You should never stay in an abusive situation. If you're in danger, you should get out of a dangerous situation. Your physical safety is among anything else highest priority. But if you are deciding that it's important for you to get out of that situation, which it should be, you're going to know, okay, well, I might not be able to afford it. Okay, yeah, you might not be able to afford it, but are you going to sit there and are you going to deal with it forever? Because you've now chosen that you're not going to deal with it anymore. That person may never change. So if you're not going to deal with it anymore, okay, I'm going to leave. Well, if you're going to leave, what do you need to do to leave? Well, I can't afford to. Well, how do you afford to? Is it making a few sacrifices? Do you need to work a few extra jobs? Do you need to do this, that, and the other? Do you need to rely on your support system for assistance? Like, there are things that you have to do. And let me tell you, in my particular situation, I had to choose in between my child and my husband. So sometimes you don't have a choice, right? So sometimes we feel stuck, but it's just, and those are two very different, in terms of level of severity, examples. But once you make a choice, you have to understand that the action required, you're going to put excuses and obstacles in front of yourself. How do you navigate around those? Because sometimes it's necessary, right? Well, I can't find another job because, then I'm going to have to start somewhere else. Is that fear-based? Is it a financial issue? If it's a financial issue and you are upset because you didn't receive a raise or you didn't get a good contract or blah, 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 or you didn't get the new job or whatever, and you feel so disrespected, are you going to work at that same place for another year, potentially a decade, feeling like that? What can you do to change your circumstances? Be proactive. Not even proactive, just take control of your life, And again, that's just my perspective on it. I know it's not that simple for everybody, but sitting in that energy, you have the awareness now, in a nutshell, during July, where you're feeling you're stuck in a victimhood mindset. You're talking down to yourself and you feel like you cannot change your own circumstances. You can change your own circumstances. Every time you buy a new pair of shoes, you get blisters. You have to wear them in. All growth requires change, and all change requires a period of uncomfortableness or discomfort. Anyway, soapbox Ashley here. Let's see what else this is about here for you. Do I have a flipper? I do not. What else is this about? July's Eight of Swords with that Two of Swords in the reverse. And remember, that could be a part of your Devil in the reverse with your Judgment in the reverse. It is the fact that you keep yourself trapped in situations because it's comfortable. It's inconvenient to get lactose-free milk. I stayed in a relationship for 16 years because it was scary to think about leaving. And when I did leave, at first it was scary, and at first it was hard, and at first there were a lot of things that were really serious that I had to deal with. My ex was not a great person to leave. It was very dangerous to leave him. But that's stuff you have to sometimes go through, knowing that your safety is most important. Right? Your child's safety is most important, right? And not that my child was in danger, but it wasn't a good environment, Yeah, okay. It does have to do with work, and I thought it did because this Ace of Pentacles in the reverse was there. Yeah, you're letting a job go. You have an awareness that something's not working. And this is literally not working. Watch, look, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, not working. You could be you could be changing careers, but you could also be leaving a job. You could be feeling like nothing is profitable for you. Sorry, this is Seven of Pentacles. Duh. The lack of investment. Still, it's kind of the same thing. It's not working for you. You're not feeling that the energy that you're investing into something is yielding any type of reward. There's no fruit, never mind low-hanging fruit in the situation that you're faced with. And so you're throwing good energy after bad, I think, is the thing that you're realizing in July. And you're feeling stuck and stagnant, and you have the awareness that something has to change, and you're potentially choosing a direction during July as far as that goes. But remember, don't sit with that negative self-talk telling you that you can't change your circumstances, because you also understand here that any energy that you've poured into something up to now hasn't really provided you with any results. Not anymore. I promise you it won't be much longer. We only have 3 more cards to go. 3 more months to go. 3 more months to go. Does somebody have like a term or a contract or a deadline and they're trying to wait it out for 3 more months during July? That could be a thing. 3 more months, 3 more months. Come on, man, 3 more months, you know? Somebody could be asking them to wait 3 more months until something happens. Promising them the world will happen, or they'll give them the world in 3 more months. The Hermit in the reverse, yeah, you've realized a deep personal truth that you were seeking during the previous month of June. It's got to do with gratitude. It's got to do with recognizing what you do have going for you. And if you look back on what you do have going for you, as well as lean on this individual who is that King of Cups from June. They're a massive part of your support system. They have Scorpio in their chart. And they are going to be the person who tells you where your emotional energy, the energy from your heart, what things are worthy of that and what things aren't, and that's going to encourage you further. That's actually going to be a part of that personal truth, that it's going to ring true with you during that time. And you could actually set up a plan where in 3 months after that, so come end of October, beginning of October, somewhere around there, you have a plan set in motion to 86, whatever this is, that you're not feeling there's ample investment yields for your investment. For August, we have the High Priestess in the reverse. High Priestess in the reverse, Piscean energy. This is a secret coming to light, being revealed. This is also probably a secret that's being revealed through occult knowledge or something that you intuitively learn. Tell us more. The number 2 or the number 11 will figure strongly. So August 2nd or August 11th might be a big deal on that. We have the Ace of Wands in the reverse with the Chariot in the reverse. Yeah, there's you've realized there's something that's coming out. Either intuitively you've learned this, or there's a secret that's rising up about something not moving forward, a trip not happening, travel not happening, a change of address that's not happening. More likely than not, any travel that's related to a new idea, an initiation of a creative endeavor, is something that has to do with an inspiring new beginning, a passionate new beginning, isn't happening. It's not happening like you thought it would. It might be, I think if you were looking at moving forward on something that had to do with traveling to, it's like that's the matchstick of the divine, and it's being doused out. So it's almost as if movement forward on a creative idea, either intuitively you realize that it's not going to begin, or you're not going to be able to move forward, or there's a secret that comes about not being able to travel or relocate, that's associated with initiation of the creative process, or like a project of some sort. But it's more of a passion project. It's not like work. Tell us more on that. It's a secret coming to light. Tell us more about it. Well, phallic symbol. Also, Ace of Wands is normally a phallic symbol. Oh, there's our Eight of Swords again. Coming out of victimhood mindset. Okay. Yeah, because there hasn't been this movement forward, and sometimes we just have to take the Chariot for what it is. It isn't always travel. It isn't always relocation. It isn't those... sometimes it is just movement forward, right? And here, you've got that Eight of Swords again, but it's in the reverse. It's coming out of that victimhood mindset. It's taking control because you realize that there is no inspiration, there is no creativity, there is no drive, and there is no new beginning coming, and there's no movement forward. You're stagnant. And so it's time for you to choose to free yourself from that stuck feeling, from that mental prison, and take matters into your own hands. It could also be that somebody is waiting for you to take matters into your own hands. Intuitively, you know you have to take matters into your own hands. I think is a big thing there. You could be looking to the occult, or to, tarot readings, astrology, spirituality in and of itself to provide you with answers regarding this. I think it's just going to validate your own thoughts and feelings about it. But see here, you're not sitting in a victimhood mindset anymore. You're not sitting there, hurling yourself out the window going, whoa, no, there's swords down there. Watch me not fall on them. Oh no, I'm going to fall on them. You're preventing yourself from doing that. In September for you, we have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, it's that lack of partnership, lack of new partnership, and an invitation for you to evaluate where your relationship of mind, body, and spirit is out of sync. You've been neglecting one of those three, and it needs to be paid attention to. But also, this is about offers, partnerships, contracts, sometimes friendships that aren't working. Tell us about that in September. Okay, we have the Lovers. So there's a choice here. You might have, that's Gemini energy. What else do we have here before I speak on it? Okay, yeah. So you have a Ten of Cups with the Lovers over top of that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. You might be choosing as a result of a lack of an offer, a contract, friendships and partnerships not going well for yourself, to focus on your relationship with a significant other in September. You might have in the past allowed your work and your friendships to take priority over your romantic relationships. And you're now looking to pursue the zenith, the height of emotional fulfillment in a connection, as opposed to focusing on getting that new job offer, partnering with people in business, focusing on the balance of the self, the three aspects of the self, but also your friendships being your closest partnerships in life. A lot of times, I can recall in my past, personally, I've been in relationships with people for years where I maintained that they would never be my best friend. Absolutely, 100%. And this is a great example of that. You see in September here, we have that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Somebody is not allowing the other, more tangible side relationships in their life, or their work and the offers and all of that kind of stuff, that aren't working out anyway, that they are putting investment in, throwing good money after bad, to take priority over their choices in romantic and emotionally fulfilling relationships, as well as what could potentially be the happy home life that they've been looking to sustain. Let's see what else here. Anything else on that for September? That's very simple, isn't it? It's a beautiful realization of where those things had fallen by the wayside for you because you put your focus into the wrong things in the past. You didn't nurture that connection with another person because you were so focused on your social life, and you were so focused on your reputation and your status and your career goals. And in September, you're turning the focus onto the connection that matters most, which is the connection that you go home to. You know, we don't spend, at least we shouldn't spend the majority of our time in the office. And I do apologize, that's actually the 9, not the 10. I just saw the 10 in the deck. So it's the 9. It's emotional wish fulfillment that's realized out of self-love. So there's a part of you that's not nurturing yourself by neglecting to make the choice to choose your lover, as opposed to your status, your reputation, your career goals, your friendships that boost your social standing. Because your social standing and your reputation and your status, at the end of the day, especially in September, you're realizing they aren't sustaining you and they aren't bringing you into harmony with the 3 aspects of self. And I think that we need to, as tarot readers, potentially examine that 3 of Pentacles more for the 3 aspects of self, because that is a more traditional look at the 3 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. There is a small offer, timepiece, peace offering, but it's a tangible communication coming in that has a gift attached to it in September. It has to do with a wish. It has to do with your lover. And it might, it's funny because I'm seeing this too. With that 3 of Pentacles in the reverse, it almost feels like too little, too late, kind of like appeasing somebody. Like people realize that because you're not kind of like putting as much into your career or into your contracts or into your friendship circle, that they're going to appease you by trying to give you, oh, here, look at this shitty little pentacle that I'm going to give you. You know, it's like the material world equivalent of breadcrumbing, you know. And I don't know if any of you have ever worked in jobs where that happens. I mean, in relationships, we've all seen it happen, the breadcrumbing. I'll give you a little bit here and there, and that'll satisfy you until you get pissed off, and then I'll give you a little bit more, and then you'll be satisfied until you get pissed off and feel neglected and da-da. Well, it's the same in careers, you know. It's so we have this inside joke, a lot of people do, and you can go online and you can hear about it, but you ever see people who feel a lack of appreciation in the workplace, lack of engagement, all that kind of stuff, and you know, like people do this like one and done here, all like, you know, I'll buy you donuts, buy you pizza, I'll do something for you, and it's like, well, gee, thanks for all of my hard work and effort, and, you know, sacrificing time with my family and sacrificing, you know, rest and all of those kinds of things. Like, it's kind of like there's a professional, tangible material and energy breadcrumbing that's going on there, and somebody is trying to appease you with that. And you're like, nah, man, I'm going to hang out with my partner. And I'm going to go home now, and I'm going to spend my time with the one I love. You know? Because that's my wish fulfillment. And that's how I love. I love myself, and therefore I can love somebody else. And this scene right here, where I spend my days working so that I can make ends meet, that's not me loving myself, and that's not loving me. Do you know what I mean? Finally here, We have October. And October is our Knight of Swords energy. You have a sharp tongue during October. Be careful with that impetuous, impulsive Gemini Knight of Swords energy, that you're not running around taking action, lopping people's heads off irresponsibly with that sword. But it is impulsivity. And it's impulsivity that either leads to triumph, or it's as a result of triumph and success and achievement in front of others. It's probably going to be recognition in front of others. You could also be on display or performing in some regard. But remember, silver tongue energy with that Knight of Swords. You don't want to seem two-faced. You don't want to seem as if you're flying off the handle and don't have control of yourself. Self-control is important. And you want to make sure that any action that you take is spontaneous, yes. Lacks self-control, no. You want to use forethought in your actions. It's okay to still be fun and spontaneous and bubbly and all that stuff, but you do need to make sure that you don't look irresponsible while doing so. There is triumph, winning out, victory, success there for you, though. Let's see more. What else do we have there? Wheel of Fortune, yeah, there's success. You are moving forward, and you do have success on the horizon. I don't think it's by chance. I think that it's by your ability to take control of the circumstances for yourself. I think that this says that luck is on your side, though. I think that it's important for you to remember that it's not all just chance. That people make things happen for themselves, and that luck hits when you are working hard, and not just working hard. I mean, you don't want to kill yourself trying to do something for yourself, but nobody ever, became successful, at least, sustainable success doesn't come from just sitting on your ass doing nothing, waiting for something to fall in your lap. Most people have to get out there and grab it from themselves, right? But there is movement forward. The wheel is turning. It's moving forward. And I think that we're looking here at the wheel of the year also. X will mark the place. So it's the wheel turning for you. And I think it's turning in your favor. Lastly for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Yeah, okay. Seven of Swords, and it's earnest, it's honest. It lacks treachery. You don't feel like you're precariously balancing anything anymore. You don't feel like it's a sword-swallowing act. Which is funny, because we do have sword-swallowing in the Knight of Swords there in October as well. So it could actually be that you're seeing a sword-swallowing act. Or you could feel like there's magic that's involved, or somebody could be saying something to you about magic tricks, or like it's magic that you're doing this. I think it's about the magician, and we don't have the magician on the table, but I think it's about your ability to manifest things for yourself. Like I said, you make things happen to life. Life does not happen to you. And in October of next year, you will see that for yourself. You eat the sword, You're not putting the sword down your throat. You're lowering yourself down to lick the peanut butter off the sword. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm trying to be eloquent about it, but I can't. But as far as I can really say about that Seven of Swords in the reverse, there's no treachery in it. You earned it. You didn't do anything behind anybody's back. You were honest. It was good, honest effort that got you your comeuppance there. Bottom of the deck, options, emotionally charged options. Some people would say this is options in love, and formidable creatures, we are, and of course, but I would say more than anything else, it's surveying from a respectful space where you are guiding and dedicating your emotional energy and making sure that the options that you choose are worthy of your energy. When you hold yourself in high regard and you recognize your worthiness, then you can see the true worthiness in others and where your energy is best appreciated and best served. That's what I've got for you, Capricorn. This is a really long one. I'm gonna go now because I'm tired. I work a lot, and so do this if you like what I just did here. If it made sense to you, more importantly, if it made sense, and if it rings true, if you kind of see where this is going for you, and can already kind of tell that it's gonna resonate. I don't know. I'm going to put them in a playlist so you can look back at them throughout the next year. And I'm going to do a love reading or something like that next month. So we'll see when we see you next. Take care of yourself. Bye.